Hey my beautiful people. So it's Thursday, it's not officially Saturday, but I just wanted to pop in and say I'm okay. So I started my week in the wilderness. My first week was awful. I was sleeping like average of 3 hours a night. And I was so mad at God because I was like, anger with God is never rational, okay? At least mine isn't. And I totally directed my anger at the wrong person. I was mad at myself and I was mad at God because I'm like, God, you know I'm doing this and I'm being obedient. Why aren't you helping me? Sleep. You know sleep is the most important thing, right? Like, I need sleep to be safe out here. I need sleep to be able to focus. I need sleep to be able to be motivated to serve you, to do this wilderness, right? And like every night for like 5 nights straight, I just could not sleep. I could fall asleep just fine. But then like 3 hours later, I'd wake up and I couldn't go back to sleep. And then I'd have like bouts of sleep here and there, 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there. I mean, it was just torture. Okay? And I finally got to the point where I admitted that I was angry with God, right? I didn't want to be angry with God, but I was. And I was walking Stevie one day, and I was like, Lord, I'm mad at you. Like, I don't understand. Like, why are you letting this happen? I don't understand. And he was like, Heather, did you actually ask me for help? And I sat there and I thought about it, and I'm like, no, I didn't. I didn't actually say, Lord Jesus, help me sleep better. I'm struggling here. I give this to you, Lord. I don't want this. I don't want this battle. I need your help. I never actually asked him for it. I just assumed he would do it because why not, right? And then I felt this big, right? As big as my little tiny Jesus is. And I was like, wow, Lord, I'm so sorry. I did not ask you for help. So then I directed the anger on me. And I said, you know, I should have known that this was going to happen because there's no way the devil's going to let me go into complete and total obedience and submission to Jesus unharmed, right? Unhinged. I'm like, he's not going to let that happen. And I knew this. I mean, we know this in the back of our minds, but when it happens, it's like, it still makes us mad. I still struggle with that. I'm like, could I just one time do something without your interference? No, you're not going to, okay? You're not going to, Heather. You already know this. So, once I had that realization, got in the truck, was ready to go. I listen to podcasts on YouTube while I drive because I have a subscription. I can select the video and play it in the background and have the map still going. Plus, YouTube is banging, okay, when it comes to content. They're not highly regulated like everybody else. And you can find so much good Christian content. If you're interested, check out my subscriptions, and not all of them I vouch for, because there's a few of them, there's like a handful of them that I'm still in the testing phase. Oh, look. I think they're finally unloading me. They're still in the probation period, but I do have a video that shows the ones that I actually do vouch for. There's a couple I didn't mention. I know Vodi Bakum is awesome. Dude knows his stuff. He is so good. And there's a few others. I'm gonna have to go back and look. But anyway, this video pops up, right? And it's of David Diga Hernandez. I have not watched his videos in a while, okay? And it pops up and it says, if you're experiencing these things, I'm going to leave the link down below for the actual video, because I feel like if any of you are out there in the wilderness with Jesus, or, you know, hitting a new level of your walk with Christ and you're struggling with being attacked, I really think that that video will help you, to encourage you and to give you some insight on why it's happening. But it said, if these things are happening to you, something like that, that you're so close to the blessing or something like that. I watched this video and it literally described my situation to a T. I was like, no way. No way did you put this video in my path when I was so mad at you for like unjust reasons. And I wasn't talking to God, and I was like just throwing a baby fit, right? And he puts this in front of me and says, look, this is a part of the process. It's sharpening you to be prepared for what I'm taking you to. I love you. I am still here for you. But you've got to ask me to be involved. I'm not just going to push myself on you, even though, even still, I've been in this for years, okay? For the past 5 years, I've been pushing into the Lord, and I have told him, I'm like, God, you don't need my permission. Just come. He's still a gentleman. He's not going to force himself on me, because there are days that I have that I'm like, God, I just need a break. And I know that's insane, right? That's insane to think about. How could you need a break from Jesus? The most amazing being in existence, right? But I do. I don't know why. I can't explain it, but I do. And I'm just like, God, I need a break, okay? I need some space. And you know, he gives it to me every single time. And lets me go through whatever it is that I need to go through. Spend some alone time with myself and just by myself and decompress, whatever. And I forget these things sometimes. I pray and I hope that there is a day that I don't ever need a break from God. But I realize I'm human, so it's probably going to come. And 2, that I never forget to include him in everything. And then 3, I want to get to the point where I never get angry with him. And that I just fully trust in him, no matter what. I don't know if that's possible. I didn't think that me not cussing was possible. I didn't think that me not having road rage was possible. And here we are. I'm at the back end of both of those things. You know, so Philippians 4:11-13. You know, we really can do all things through Christ. All things. Like, there is nothing impossible. For with man, there are things that are impossible. But with God, there is nothing that is impossible. Like, I'm still struggling, okay? This second week has been insane. I am back to, I did though, after that, I watched that video and after I had that conversation with God and after I showered, I had the best night's sleep. And I've been sleeping so good ever since. We just can't remember, we can't forget to include him, and we can't get mad at him when we don't include him, that he doesn't force himself in, because he's a complete and total gentleman. He will not go where he's not wanted or where we don't invite him. It is an active relationship, and I don't believe that it is something that, because, oh, God feels like he's entitled, of which he's entitled to everything, by the way, but I don't believe that it's a thing where, like, oh, well, you gotta ask me, you know, like, oh, you gotta ask me because I'm not just gonna volunteer. No. If we get in the habit of assuming that he's just gonna be there, then it's much easier, because he's not physically, I mean, he's here, but in spirit, he's not physically like human here. I feel like if we don't actually include him, physically say, hey God, I want you involved in this. Like, I can give you an example, okay? For the past several days, I have not been getting up. I have not acknowledged him. I have not thanked him for this day. I have not said, Lord Jesus, I give you this day and everything in it. Help me to glorify you in everything I do, think, say, and feel today. I surrender all of it to you, Lord. Use me as you will. I have not said any of those things to him. And do you know that I didn't think about him very much? I didn't include him in every part of my day. He was just around, and I didn't even acknowledge his existence. I got so caught up in myself and what I was doing, and I feel like the reason that we have to invite him everywhere and into everything is because I feel like everything that we do is for our benefit. It's not for him. He doesn't need us to do those things, but we as humans, because we need to acknowledge him, we don't forget him. We wake up in the morning, we acknowledge our partner, we acknowledge our children. We would never go a day, if you're a good parent, if you're a good wife, good husband, you would never go a whole day without acknowledging the existence of the people that you love the most that are in your household, right? Wouldn't go a day without saying, hey, I love you, and have a wonderful day, and I want you to be here with me, or whatever. You would not do that. So why are we doing it with Jesus? Why aren't we including him in everything? And the only way that we can do that, because he's not a physical being there, is to say it out loud, to remind ourselves that he's still here. He doesn't need that reminder. He knows he's here. We do. I didn't do that. And even still, after all of that, he went out of his way to show me that he still loved me and he still believed in me, and that, Heather, I'm not left you. I'm here. I've just been waiting for you to say you want me involved in your sleep. You haven't said anything to me. Oh, what a wonderful God we serve. I pray that every single one of you watching is blessed by God's presence in your life today. And if you haven't, please reach out to him. Ask him into your life. I know a lot of you say you have, but if you haven't been open to receiving him, or you're still biased, or you have a certain set of stipulations, oh God, you have to meet this, and this before I believe you exist, you are closing off yourself to the greatness that God is. God is not human. He is so vastly beyond human capabilities and understanding. Like, you can't put him in a box. You do that, you limit his power in your life. You limit his presence in your life. Say, Lord, I don't care how you present yourself to me. Just make sure that I don't miss it. Make sure, like, slap me upside the head with it so it's obvious, because I need something obvious. I'm that way. I'm that person, okay? God, you gotta, like, shout it at the top of the mountains, okay? Because I need that. He will show up to you when he knows, only when he knows that you're fully ready to receive him and willing to receive him. He wishes for no one to perish. Do you understand that? That's why we're still here. That's why he never destroyed humanity. He could have wiped the slate clean at any time and started over. And he chose not to, because he wants the people that are here with him. I don't know. Something about that just touches my heart. Because even in my most worst state of being, when I Like no one wanted me around, when no one could stand me, not even myself. Not even could I stand myself. God said, I still want you. I still love you. I still believe in you. I do not give up on you. And do you know there has been so many times that I have wanted to give up on myself? Just in the past, since I've gotten back out on the road, these past 2.5 years, I have wanted to give up so many times on myself. I actually did give up on myself quite a few times. And he said, no, I don't give up on you. So you're not going to give up on you. I pray that every one of you finds Jesus. And I pray that every one of you stops allowing people to determine what you believe about Jesus. People are not Jesus. The church is not Jesus. They're not. We're not. Please, please, please don't let past hurts and hang-ups and other people's sins and misrepresentations keep you from the greatness that God has for you and the greatness that He is. You are missing out. You are missing out on the greatest love that you could ever experience. The greatest peace and joy that you will ever know. Feeling complete, no longer feeling restless, no longer feeling like you have to chase after every single thing out there to make you feel like just slightly human. Not knowing who you're supposed to be, struggling with your identity, all of these things. And no, it's not going to happen right away. You're not going to ask Him one time and He just fixes everything. It's a process. If He did that, we would go right back to being the old person that we were. If He fixed us in one fell swoop, it would never stick. We humans, we have to struggle. We have to fight for who we become in order for it to stay and never go back. We have to know the darkness before we can appreciate the light. We have to know the pains and the sufferings and the struggle of the darkness for us to hate it. If we don't understand the darkness and what destruction it causes in our life, we'll never fight it. We'll never run from it. We'll never flee it. We'll never hate it. We'll live in it and we'll die in it. It is crucial that we struggle and we understand the pains and the destruction that come from darkness in order for us to chase after the light and the things that God has for us. And I do not understand why it is so hard for people to answer that question, because for me, it's really easy why God allows suffering in this life. I'll answer it right here. Number one, He gave us free will. Why did He give us free will? What is free will? Free will means that He will not that He cannot, He will not interfere unless we want Him there. Where is the joy? Where is the reward in forcing people to love you? That makes no sense. There's no glory in that. He wants to be chosen just like you want to be chosen by your friends, by your family, by your loved ones, by your husband or wife. You want to be chosen. You don't want to force somebody to love you. There's no benefit to that for either of you. So why do you want God and Jesus to, I say God and Jesus, like the Father and like, sometimes my head can't wrap around the Trinity. I apologize. It's not that they're separate or that I believe they're separate. It's just my brain doesn't always work like it's supposed to. Why are you making Jesus have to fight for it? Like, why aren't you making me love you? What's wrong with you? You're God. You're all powerful. He doesn't want it that way. He gave you free will so you could choose whatever you want to do, how you want your life to go. I mean, how you want it one way or you want it the other. Like, you guys want him to be tyrannical, but then you don't. Like, you get mad when he forces his way in, or he interferes, and then you get mad when he doesn't. Like, which is it? Get on the side and stay there. You can't have it both ways. I think it's just your excuse for not trying to find out the truth and not reaching out to the one true God. Because why? Because it causes us to have to reflect on who we are. And we have to crucify ourselves, deny ourselves, and take up our cross and follow him. And nobody wants to do that because we're all selfish. Every one of us is born selfish. We are incapable of not being selfish. We are incapable of true love without Jesus. So why is there suffering? Because God gave us a choice. God gave us one rule in the Garden of Eden. One rule. That's it. One rule. And we couldn't follow one rule. So now, because we didn't follow that one rule, there's a whole list of things that we are exposed to now. That God says, I don't want you touching that. I don't want you experiencing that. I don't want you going that way, because it's going to destroy you. We chose. God gave us everything in the garden. Everything that we would ever need. He created the earth for us. He gave us the Garden of Eden that was perfect. It was paradise. It was paradise, people. It was paradise. There's nothing that we didn't have in the Garden of Eden. And what did we say to God? That is not enough. That is not enough, God. I know you gave us literally everything we could ever have or ever need or ever want in this life, but you know what? I'm sorry, it's not good enough. No one stops to think about how he felt in that moment. No one stops to think about how he could have wiped us out in that moment and done something completely different. No one stops to think about the grace and the mercy that he exercised in that moment. He did not. His first response was not to punish us, people. Do you not? I'm so sorry. I'm getting passionate about this. I'm just so passionate about it. I want you to see this, okay? I want you to see this. Nobody talks about his first response was not to punish us. His first response was to cover us in his protection. I want someone to say that they see this, please. I'm so mad that I didn't see this before 2020. Do you know how much time I wasted chasing after things of this world? I don't want that for you. I want you to have better than what I allowed for myself. He found out that, no, he didn't find out because he already knew. He comes back to the garden and sees that we are naked, right? And that we know that we're naked. What was his first thing that he did? He did not scold them first. He did not leave them naked in their shame. He did not dish out the punishments first. The first thing that he did was he covered us with his protection so that we no longer felt shame. And then he asked us what happened. He already knew. Okay, let's first of all. But I made this mistake so many times with my children. I would jump in and I just assumed what happened. I assumed each person's side of the story, and I just instantly got angry. And I went straight to disciplining them. And I didn't stop and take a moment. In that garden, he showed us the proper way how to parent our children. He said, first of all, he brought them out, okay, because they were hiding in shame. And he didn't even say anything to them. Adam said, I was hiding because I was naked and I was afraid. Who told you you were naked? He started asking questions. And then he asked what happened to each of them. He already knew. But he wanted their side of the story, their perspective. And then, after everybody spoke their piece, then he dished out the consequences of it. And then, after that, he further protected us. He said, I've got to get you out of this garden. Because if you eat from the tree of life, then you're going to stay in this broken down, cursed state forever. And I don't want to forever be separated from you. The first thing God did when we sinned against him was protect us, cover us in his protection. And he's been doing that ever since then. That is all the entire Bible is about. Redeeming humanity and keeping us in line with him so that he doesn't lose us forever to eternal damnation in hell. He wants us close to him. He wants us to have everlasting life with him in paradise like he originally designed it. We are the ones who choose where we end up. So if you don't have God in your life, it is your choice. It is your fault. You have not chosen to completely surrender. You have not chosen to open yourself up to him. He has offered this salvation to every single person in existence. Do you understand me? There are no favorites. The only reason that so few are chosen is because so few people choose him. God chose you by giving you the very breath of life in your lungs. And he chooses you every single day that he gives you another day to make the right decisions. You being here is his mercy and grace and love. He's waiting for you until the very last breath that you take. He waits for you. Who else in your life has ever waited for you that long? I'll wait. No one. Wow. That didn't go where I wanted it to go. Like, I had no idea. That was pretty wild. Anyway, I really hope and pray that you guys are having an amazing week and that y'all are staying cool in these excruciating temperatures. It's not even the hottest part of the summer yet, people. Oh my goodness. I'm in New York and it's freaking hot. But anyway, I love you guys, and I will be doing another video Saturday, and then Sunday we're going to do our first prayer session. I'm so nervous. I don't do live. I don't like live. I don't. But you know what? It's all good because the Holy Spirit's going to help me, and we're going to get through it. It's all good. First thing I'm going to be talking about is the Trinity. I struggled for the longest time to understand the Trinity and to wrap my head around it. To be honest with you, I didn't fully understand the function of each one of them in my life until I read the Bible. The Old Testament tells you about who God the Father is. The New Testament, the Gospels tell you about Jesus, the Son of God. And then from Acts forward to the end of the Bible tells you about the, until Revelation tells you about God the Holy Spirit. And then Revelation has all three of them encapsulated in it. But they were all three there from the beginning, and I'm going to hopefully successfully map that out for you. So stay tuned, and I hope to see you there, and I love you guys, and as always, choose Jesus. Thanks for joining me. I just realized that on going on that tangent, I didn't really fully explain the reason for suffering. I mean, I touched on it a little bit in the video, but I'm going to do a whole video about that and explaining everything in depth and covering it all. It's a lot to unpack, but I did answer it, kind of. It was something that we chose, you know, and I'll explain that more in another video. But anyway, thanks again for listening. I love you guys so much.